All right, so we are sitting here today with a Ms Joy Fowler, and yeah, we're just gonna jump right into it and start it off with another phenomenal woman. All right, so Joy, thank you so much for sitting down with us today, and a little taste of where you're actually from. Not that I can tell with all the gator things.
Rick, I am born and raised right here in Lakeland, Florida, and I've always lived here my entire life, nowhere else.
Look at that, a lifetime of actually being at a place. So, just what would you say? Because I see a lot of gator things that's over here. So what's like are you their number one fan, would you say?
Yes, probably, most likely. My parents were big Gator fans, and now we have three generations of the same four seats in the south end zone at the Swamp. They were in my mom's name, and then they were in my name, and now my daughter is carrying on the tradition.
Man, look at that, all those different generations. So I guess the first thing we need to do is take it all the way back. So let's go all the way back to the little girl, like you growing up. Let's start there. So, what was it like for you growing up? What would you say was the little girl version of you? How was that?
Growing up with three brothers, I wasn't really a little girl, I was more of a tomboy. And I played basketball and football and baseball, all sports. And a lot of times when my brother's friends would come over, they would pick me to be on their team. So that was a big plus, making me feel like I was wanted.
Oh, that's pretty cool. And look at you playing with all of the now. How competitive was that for you? I mean, obviously, if you had three brothers, what was that competition like?
Well, I think they might have been a little bit jealous, but that's okay. You know, they were boys and I was a tomboy. So, yeah, my dad coached Little League Baseball for 11 years, and I wanted so badly to be on that team because I knew that I was just as good as they were. But he would tell me, no, Joy, go sit in the bleachers with your mother. So I think at the next game I asked him if I could just be the bat girl. And he said, no, Joy, go sit in the bleachers with your mom. I was at every game and I had fun. I rooted for all the guys, and so it was a lot of fun for me, but not as much fun as it could have been had I gotten to play. Back then, and this is a long time ago, of course, girls didn't get to play sports like they do today. And I kept telling my dad he could be a trendsetter, but I don't think he was brave enough to take that on. But I think in life growing up, even that young, I always wanted my daddy's approval. And I did finally get it in later years, but I think his approval was always there. But I had to have a heart-to-heart talk with him one day. I went into his office because we had a family-owned business, and I shut the door and I said, Daddy, we got to talk.
So question that I actually have for you. So how was it with now? What did your mom say to that? You know, with you trying to fit in with the boys and dad not letting you play. So what did mom say to that?
My mom was always very, very kind with me because she knew how good I was and she knew I wanted to play, but it wasn't the time. And she would just, you know, reassure me that you're a girl and you need to be feminine. And I would sit and think about it, and it would be that would kind of make me feel a little bit
So
better.
let's fast forward a little bit. Okay, so the little girl version of you, tomboy and trying to fit in with the guys, and well, now all of a sudden, hey, you're starting to blossom into a young lady now. So how was that, transitioning going from little girl tomboy to ooh wait, I'm actually a young lady now.
It was fine. I enjoyed getting dressed up, and then I went on my first date, and guess what my oldest brother did? He met the guy at the end of the driveway and told him he better not hear anything negative about this date after I got home.
Well, of course, follow-up question is, did he keep that promise the right way? I mean, did he make sure he did everything the correct way?
Well, I think he kind of scared my date, his friend, a little bit. So he wasn't going to take any chances with me at all. But at the end of the date, when he walked me to the front door, I was hoping for a kiss, but I didn't get one.
Now, of course, I mean, obviously after the dating and all of those things. So, now, were you always just a good girl? Or was there a little bit of a rebel in you? Like, were you doing like let's go to church and let's sing songs, or what was that like for you?
I grew up in a very strict Christian home, and I'm thankful for that today because it's helped mold me into the person that I have become. But I didn't want to try to do anything that like my brothers were doing. I mean, they dabbled in drinking and drugs, and I was just not about that at all.
All right, so it seems like obviously the dating thing. Then some of those guys were a little bit intimidated and scared. Now, was everything just as equal, and was it all the same like for your brothers? Like, how was it for them? Were they able to? Did they have those rules of you better not say nothing bad, or what was it like for them?
Well, my brothers were able to, that when it comes to curfews, I was treated differently. I had to be home Monday through Thursday or Sunday through Thursday night. I had to be home by 10. And on Friday and Saturday nights, I had to be home at 11. And I didn't think that was fair. My brothers got to stay out until 1 o'clock, and then on the weekends, 2 o'clock in the morning. And I kept asking my parents, why? Why am I treated differently? And my mom would tell me, nothing good happens after midnight, Joy. And I thought, that's true, but I yearned for my own freedom. So I knew then I was going to have to make a change.
All right, so mom was saying that nothing good happens after a certain time, and obviously there's a double standard going on there. So I mean, did anything ever happen where you say, well, this is going on with them, not with me, and where you sort of saw, I don't know, maybe some cracks in that formula that they had.
Oh, certainly. I remember my brother and I were just a year apart, and so he went away to college my senior year. And from September till March, he came home and was addicted to heroin and was mainlining heroin, stealing makeup out of my bedroom to cover up his tracks. And that was devastating to me because I always had my oldest brother on a pedestal. I thought he was the coolest thing, and he had some cool friends that I got to meet and go out with later on. But it taught me that this is a path that I never, ever, ever want to go down, because my parents spent a lot of money in drug rehabs for him to get him well. And he would go along a year or two and be fine, and then he would fall off the wagon, if you will, and relapse.
All right, so it seems like so once you saw that double standard, I mean, obviously you weren't liking that. And now, what did you do to rebel and maybe show them and say, I'll show you guys? Was there a little rebel in you that tried to do a little something?
There was. I stayed out all night, just like my brothers had done many times before, and they didn't get in any trouble. But when I came home, whew, my mom was not happy with me. I was in the shower, got ready to go to work, and she came in my bedroom, and we had a physical altercation. I left, I went to work, and I thought long and hard, I've got to do something different, and that's when I made the decision that I had to move out. 2 weeks after my birthday in August, I couldn't take it. I saw a different way that they treated me versus my brothers, especially my oldest brother. So one Sunday, I said I was sick and didn't go back to church Sunday night. And I packed my little car. I had already rented a little duplex, and I moved.
Well, there's a bold move. Wow, just moved out. Was that scary for you? I mean, what gave you that confidence to just move out on your own?
Of course, it was a little bit scary, but I was ready for it. I wanted to spread my wings and fly, if you will. Didn't speak with my parents for about 4 months after that. And one day my aunt called me up and said, "You need to make things right with your parents." And I thought about it and sat on it for a few days. And then I just showed up at their house on a Sunday afternoon because I knew my mom cooked Sunday after church. Not that I was going to eat, but I went in and said hello. They invited me to sit down, and I told them I wasn't here to eat. I was here to apologize and make things right.
Okay, so now then you're out on your own. You're starting to spread your wings, and you're working. And well, first thing, you know what? I'm actually going to ask a question. How was it? I mean, how hard did you have to work? How many jobs did you have to actually work to sustain yourself and be out there like that? How many jobs did you work?
So I had one job, and it was for a major company here in Lakeland, Florida Tile. They're no longer here, but I worked there for 3 years, and I dated two guys, one for 6 years and one for 3 years, and then I went to work for an office supply company, and my brother's ex-wife's brother was working there also. So I was trying to find somebody to date. My mom said the person for you is right underneath your nose and you just don't even know. Just be still and watch and observe. So then my brother's ex-wife's brother, we decided we'd go hang out, and we did. And then 8 months later, we got married.
Okay, so it seems like you got married. I mean, life seemed like it's going pretty good. You got a new beau in your life, and now, I mean, well, was there any kids or what else happened there? Did y'all have any kids at all?
Yes, we had a beautiful daughter. She is just absolutely gorgeous, and we felt very blessed. But after her birth, and things got a little rough. There was a few altercations that her father and I had, and I didn't think it was healthy, not only for me but for her. So I made the decision to move forward, and I left the marriage.
Wow. So it seems like, I mean, obviously everything wasn't just roses and, had a little bit of hardship come up. I mean, so now you're a single mom. How was that for you?
It wasn't the easiest thing in the world, but I learned so much about being a parent and how important it was for me to be there for my daughter. And we got closer, and with the love and support of my family and God above, because I raised her in church, just like my parents did me, we survived.
So then after some time, I'm guessing, so now was there ever any other, I mean, did you ever get married again, have any other relationship, or was it just you and your daughter, and, and how was that, what happened then?
After a little bit of time, some mutual friends introduced me to someone that they thought I would be a match. So they arranged a dinner party, and I got to meet him, and it was almost instant. We fell in love with each other. I know that sounds crazy, but it happened, and he did become the love of my life.
Oh man, that sounds awesome. So now you got the love of your life. You have your beautiful daughter. Now everything is just flowing the way it needs to. And let me guess, you just sailed off into the sunset happily ever after.
Well, I will say this. We dated for 3 years, and then we got married. And 6 weeks after I married the love of my life, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. And in the first 14 months of our marriage, he championed me through 6 surgical procedures and 3 months of chemotherapy, where, y'all, I lost all of my hair. And that wasn't fun. But I had a cute wig.
Man, so, I mean, number one, obviously, you're sitting here now, beautiful long hair, smile on your face, so obviously you made it through that. But can you just tell us what was that like going through something like that? What toll did it take on you mentally, physically? Just what did you go through?
It was very, very tough. Not only from a physical standpoint, because 6 surgical procedures in 14 months takes a toll on your body. The anesthesiology alone takes a toll on your body. And I had cancer on one side with an 80% probability of development on the other side. So the doctors recommended whatever I wanted to do, but they recommended bilateral mastectomies. And that just flipped me out. But Buzz stood there and held my hand and said, "You've got this. I'm going to be right there beside you each step of the way." And he was.
Wow. So, I mean, it seems like there was a lot of prayer. It seemed like there was a lot of concern, care, and love that went through that. And I mean, just can you share with everyone, like, what was that like for your daughter?
It was difficult for Lauren because she was afraid she was going to lose her mommy. And that made me sad, but yet I had to be strong. Part of my philosophy in life is if God leads you to it, He's going to lead you through it. And I believe those words so much today because I celebrate 28 years cancer-free this year.
What would you say to anyone out there right now that's maybe they're going through and maybe then, they're thinking those same thoughts that you all had over 20 years ago? What would you say to them just to encourage them to continue on?
Oh, that's a good question. If you have the love like I had with your spouse and the support and the care and the concern that was exhibited to me by my love of my life, your spouse, then you can get through anything because it's a fight of 2 people, because as one, even though you're 2 people, you are one soul, mind, and spirit. So that's the way I approached it.
Wow. Well, thank you so much for sharing that. So now let's move past that because you made it past that stage, and now then you all are able to start your life back again. So now you started back your life. Things are going pretty good. And now, was there any other? I mean, now is everything just perfect, good, and rosy, or was there any other bumps along the way?
Oh, 4 years later, I'm sitting at my desk at my office, and the phone rings, and they asked to speak to Joy Fowler, and I said, "Speaking." She said, "This is so-and-so from Lakeland Regional Medical Center, and we have your husband here. You need to get to the hospital." He had been in a horrific car accident.
Oh my God! It seemed like every single time one battle is won, another one comes up. So now your husband's been in this accident. I mean, what were you thinking as you were going to actually visit and see your husband? What was going through your mind?
Well, the nurse asked if there was somebody that could drive me to the hospital. And I thought that was odd. So I went into my father's office and I said, "Daddy, Buzz has been in an accident. Can you take me to the hospital?" And he said, "Of course." So we go. They didn't want me to see him. Well, I couldn't. He was in surgery for 7 hours after that. And then he was in a coma for 34 days after that, intubated and couldn't speak.
Man, that really sounds like a lot that all of a sudden got thrust upon you. That obviously no way anyone could prepare for that. So what did that do to you? How did it change your life? What did you have to become from that incident?
What initially changed is I had to become a caregiver, and I had to manage all the bills and keep up with our daughter, my daughter, and make sure that his needs were met. I was at the hospital 12 to 16 hours a day for the first 34 days, and the nurses kicked me out. They said, "You've got to go home and get some sleep." But I was afraid that God might take him home, and I didn't want that to happen, and him being alone in a hospital room without me there. So they allowed me to stay, and I took little cat naps when I could, and I would go home and take a shower because hospitals are not always the most germ-free environment to be in. So being a caregiver, I think, and having to keep up with all of it was a struggle. And thank goodness I worked for my dad, because he and my brothers and my mom voted to just let me stay at the hospital until he came out of the coma. And that took 34 days, and they paid me for it, which was a blessing.
So a lot of times people, then what happens is they'll see a nice home and they'll say, "Wow, that's a beautiful home. I wish I could live there. Wow, those people must have it so good." People might see a beautiful car and say, "Wow, look at that lady in that really nice car. I bet you that she's got some rich husband that just takes care of her and she don't have to do anything." And they have no idea what's really going on behind those closed doors. So with you and how much your life shifted and changed, where you had to basically become the number one and the number two in your relationship, what would you say kept you with your head above the water with all of this chaos going on? How were you able to sustain your sanity through all of this?
First of all, God, because if God leads me to it, he's going to lead me through it. But even just as important is the love that Buzz and I had for each other, and still do to this day. We were strong. We were a strong couple, and we traveled. We went on 2 cruises a year, and we went snow skiing twice a year. So we were busy, and then we always take the kids on vacation somewhere of their choice. So we were busy and very, very blessed.
So I'm going to shift the gear just a little bit.
Okay.
Now, I see all the gator paraphernalia that you got here. Plenty of gator everything. Now, was Buzz a Florida gator?
He was not. He actually went to Florida State and graduated. So he was a Seminole. And interesting, when we first met, I had on orange and blue, and he had on a garnet polo shirt and khakis. So I found out that he was an FSU alumni. And I thought, how are we going to ever blend this relationship? So I thought, stop, Joy, you're just dating right now, so don't get in a hurry. But anyway, as it all turned out, he would go to the games with me, and I did go to a couple of games for FSU, but I always wore a Gator t-shirt underneath whatever I had on.
All right, man. So look at you, still a diehard Gator fan, and you weren't really able to, seems like you weren't able to convert him, or were you? Who knows? So question that I have, let's see. So I know that, because I was just trying to go back to some of the memories that you may have had, and I was just looking at all of the Gator things that you had. So I know that you said that he was in a coma for a while, and I know that, did he ever get out of the coma? Did you speak to him while he was in the coma? Like, what things would you say to him or do while you was hoping and praying that he would obviously, come out of that coma?
Interesting. The neurologist and nurses would tell me, talk to him, even though he's in a coma, he's intubated, he can't talk, but talk to him because he can hear what you're saying. So I thought, this is my time to try to convert him to becoming a Gator. So often during the day, I mean, probably hundreds of times, I would say, Buzz, I know you went to FSU and you're a big Seminole fan, but you met and married me, and now you know how much I love that orange and blue. So you are now a Gator fan. And I would tell him this over and over and over again, every day, and in the evenings too.
Of course, I got to ask the questions now. Obviously, did he ever come out of the coma, and I don't know, just what happened once he came out of the coma, if he ever did? Just, what would you say happened?
So, yes, the morning that he opened his eyes, I was in the room and I said, "Well, did you have a nice sleep, Buzz?" And I call it smizing, but he smiled at me with his eyes. And this is what he did. He touched me on my shoulder and he did this Seminole thing like that. I knew then he had heard me, but I did not have the power to convert him. That is a fact. I'm telling you, I had tears of joy literally streaming down my face. It just made me love him all the more.
Oh man, so that sounds pretty good. Sounds like things are looking a little bit better. So what? I mean, where was he released? Was he able to come home at that time, or what happened then?
No, he was never able to come home again. He had to learn to eat, talk, walk all over again. And when he was released from the hospital, he had to go to a facility down in Wauchula, Florida, called the Florida Institute for Neurologic Rehabilitation, fondly called FINER. So he was there for 10 years. I wanted to bring him home to have some sort of normalcy, not just for him, but for me. But he had been diagnosed with permanent severe traumatic brain injury and the mind of a 7 to 10-year-old. So he never drove again. He never voted again. It was very childlike. And I had to be given 6 months of training to be able to handle any situation that might come up while I had him home for the weekend, because I'm still working full time to pay bills. And that was the struggle for me.
Wow. So, man, talk about a transition in life. So what was that? I mean, what would you say that was like for you? Because it was lots of years, obviously, of a huge shift and adjustment in your life. So what was that like for you? I mean, for your daughter, what was all of that like for you guys?
It was a very difficult situation because Buzz wasn't the Buzz that we met, you know, and he was different, but he was still the same body and name, and he just couldn't function like he used to be able to. So it was sad. I would go get him Friday after I got off work in Wauchula and bring him back to Lakeland and take care of him all weekend and take him back Sunday evening.
Wow, just to be able to work full time and go see him through all that, people don't see that part. So, you know, that's took a lot of strength and a lot of endurance. So, if you had to say, maybe just because I don't know what gave you just the strength even to say, you know what, I'm gonna do this as long as humanly possible, but just the fact that you did anything like that, that's a huge testament of your strength. So I'm just gonna ask you, what would you say to anyone that's going through something, no matter what it is? What's something you would tell them, just as something where they can continue on and not give up? Like, what made you not give up? What would you tell them? And also, what made you not give up?
I would say pray, 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 because God hears our prayers, and be specific in your prayers. The love and support of my family, especially when it came to my daughter, and for me, because it was a financial strain too. But I prayed a lot. I had my church praying for me. I had lots of people praying for me all over the world. In fact, I had friends that traveled a lot, and they would say, I was in a cathedral and lit a candle in yours and Buzz's honor. And you know, it would bring tears to my eyes because you're on vacation and you're thinking about me or my husband or us both. And that meant a lot. So that helped me keep pushing forward. And I wanted him more than anything to get well and be the Buzz again that he once was, but it was never to be.
Wow. So after, after everything happened, and and once you've obviously you're trying to move forward in life, is there anything that you did or that you have done as far as like with some of the healing or speaking on it, or what would you say is some of the healing process? What's that been like?
I've been very blessed to be invited to speak to American Cancer Society organizations on breast cancer and healing and what my story is. And I've also included some of the time the story about what happened to Buzz. I've been invited to churches to speak on Buzz only and how I coped with it all. And for me, it's healing because I get to talk about him and relive some of the fabulous memories that we made together while we were dating as well as after we got married. And that heals my heart and makes me smile because I know Buzz would not want me to be sad. He would want me to move forward.
Well, of course. Well, thank you so much for sharing your time with us and just open up and letting us hear your story.
Well, it's all over, as far as all of the bills are paid, the legal issues were all settled, and life is good now. I mean, I'm retired and I'm enjoying life, spending time with my daughter and my son-in-law, and we get to go to the beach a couple times a year, and I enjoy spending time with them, but being at the beach is where I rekindle my soul and spirit, and I would say that's what helps keep me going along with God's blessings.
Today is Monday, January the 8th, and it's National Championship Night. And I'm visiting with my handsome husband that I love more than anything in this world. And he was about to tell me how he felt about me.
I love Joy more than anything in the whole damn world.
Honey, right back at you, and I triple everything you say.
I love you a lot.
I love you too, baby. And do you know, I'm so sorry that you don't feel well.
That made me shake. I'm doing good.